Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Annette and I'm so glad you're here today. Today we're busting out the paper scraps again. As you know, paper crafters, we save a lot of things. We save our scraps in hopes to make beautiful projects out of them. And today I'm busting out my scraps. So I tend to collect and save all my scraps, and they go into a zip bag or a container, and they just multiply and they grow and they grow and they grow. So today going through my scraps and just picking out some similar colors or complementary colors. I'm going to make 2 cards, and one, as you can see here, is going to involve these 3 pieces, and these are just scraps with black and white. They happen to be floral designs. So these 2 came obviously from the same paper, and this was a different one. But I just wanted to pick a monochromatic tone here with the black and white, and I'll create a card with that, and then the other one will be a more brighter card with different cardstock. So to make this process a little bit faster, I'm using pre-cut card panels, card mats, card bases, and I'm just going to glue them all together and show you how to put a card together. In the description, you will find all the measurements for these cards. But I will tell you, these paper scraps are 1 1/4 inch wide, and I know they're more than 5.5 because, I'm sorry, more than 5 inches, because they're going to be longer than the panel. So let me just set the matte layer aside. So we have the matte layer, the panel, and those will get glued together. These will get put on the panel, and then all of it will be glued to the card base. So that's the basic recipe for making a card. So how I'm going to design this is, since these 2 are the same, I'm going to just eyeball and glue this piece down the middle of the panel, and I'm just going to try to get it in the middle. And I do want it to extend off the edges because we'll snip those off later, and that way we don't have to worry about lining everything up. So what I like to do for this, and I've showed this in previous videos, is just turn it over and mark your edges, and then just put some glue down. And then for me, somehow it's just easier if I turn it this way to line it up. And then I'll just try to get that in the middle. Okay, and then I'll turn it over and press it down. Okay, and again, this is scrap paper too, my panel. I really don't, I mean, this design is okay. I think I used it last year for some Father's Day cards, and I just had some extra panels, and they've been sitting in my stash for about a year. So they have a white background, so we're using those as scraps. And then this one will go here. So again, I'm going to just kind of make sure it goes off the edges a little bit, mark my ends, and then I'm just going to pick this one up and just put the glue in between. And since they're all the same size, we'll just lay that one down, and I'm just lining it up against the edge of this piece. Okay, and it's okay that it's extending over the edge, because again, we're gonna chop it off, and then we will do the same with this. I just want to mark my edge, add the glue, and glue it down. And you can see, or maybe you can see, I don't know, maybe you can't see it, but there is a little bit of the card panel on the edge here. So we'll correct that, and we're gonna cut it off. Not to worry. So let me get a pair of scissors, and you can do this on a paper trimmer, but honestly, I just find it easier for me just to chop it off, just going right along the line of the card panel. And you can just take your time and do that. And then I do want to take care of this edge here and just clean that up. So I'm just going to, it's actually, it's lined up over here, but it's just a little bit off center here. So we're just going to shore that up. Literally, it's just a sliver. I mean, you can see right there. That's all I took off. So now we have a panel. All right. Scoop those aside, and let's just go ahead and finish this card, and then we'll do the other one real quick. Same process. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the matte layer, and I apologize, my work surface, this is just a piece of foam, is gray, and my matte layer has to be gray, but I'm pretty sure you can see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down to the matte layer. And I'm just going to eyeball the edges, make sure there's even margin all the way around. And you can see that right there. I think if I had a piece of paper, let's see. Oh, I just don't have anything handy right now, so we'll just go with this. I have a silicone mat. That's a little bit better. I'll just put that in the background so you can see it. And then I just found in my stash these little ephemera. This is just a neutral tone, and it's just a piece of cardstock, and it has this pretty embossed, it says notes, and it's oh, let's see if you can see that. Find that. It's gold. There we go. I'm going to glue that down, and then we're going to add a butterfly and a sentiment, and then glue this to the base, and it will be done. So I'm just going to center this in the middle. This is a good way to use your scraps and ephemera. I really don't use ephemera that much, but I love it. I absolutely love it, and I need to start busting it out and putting it together in cards. And I'm looking for my reverse tweezers. Here they are. So yeah, with ephemera, you just start layering. You know, it doesn't always have to match. Like normally a lot of people might not put this together. The camera's really not picking it up. Maybe that's better. But this is black and white. This is kind of a taupe color, I guess. But it's neutral, so it will go with this. So just start layering things and see what you come up with. Here we go. So I'm going to make this into a birthday card. And I found this butterfly, this ephemera butterfly. So I'm going to put him on there, but I am going to pop him up. So let me bring in some foam squares. And let's just get him popped up. Actually, I just think I need one. Well, I'll put one on each wing. I think that'll probably be better. Okay, and then just remove the backers. And my greeting, I think I might have that come off a little bit, but I will put the butterfly here. And I do like that he's coming off of that panel. And then I think we'll just put the sentiment just somewhere off to the side there. Just kind of make it a little bit off the panel, or off that little grounding element where it says notes. And that's a quick birthday card. So let's get this onto the base layer. And again, the measurements will be in the description, but this is just a top folding US A2 size card base. And we will put this on. And just like that, card number 1 is finished. And then you can write your little greeting inside. All right, so that's card number 1. We'll set that aside. And then for the second one, the same exact process. So I went ahead in my stash, I found some brighter scrap paper, got my card panel, a different colored mat, my card base, and I found this gold transparent ephemera. We're going to use that. So let's go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to bring in the card panel. And these scraps came from the same paper pad, but the paper pattern just had different variant of color. And so I'm just going to put those on the end and then the polka dot in the middle. So we'll start with the polka dot. Same process as before. I want it to go off the edge a little bit. And we'll glue that down. Kind of eyeball center. All right. And then one of these on each side. So I'm really going to try to, two things. This year, we're in 2025, I either need to quit saving all my scraps because really, it's getting out of control. I'm just, my envelopes that I store it in are just busting out of the seams. There's no reason for me to buy more envelopes and keep doing this. I need to either use my scraps or get rid of them. And I hate to throw things away, so I think my other option is to just start using the scraps more often. And just really deciding too, are the scraps even big enough to keep? I mean, some of my scraps, I was going through the stash looking for these, you know, looking for some papers that would work for today's video. And I'm just like, why did I save this piece of paper? Literally a small piece of paper. Like, I just don't even know why I saved it. Like, what's wrong with me? Did I throw it away? No, not yet. So, I don't know. I have a hard time throwing things away. I always feel like I'm going to repurpose them. All right, so now we're going to trim this up. I'm going to shore this up first because it's just easy to see. Get that off, and then the rest of it, flip it over, cut. These are so easy. Just, I like doing these cards because sometimes the process, like, okay, what stamp am I going to use? What am I going to, you know, how am I going to design a card? This is just such an easy way to knock all that out because the papers do all the work. I mean, that's just a beautiful background. You could even put some ink splatters down if you wanted, but I'm just trying to do a quick, simple card here. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this down to the matte layer. I thought it would be fun to bring in a kind of like a teal color. I really like that color. I think it goes well with the pattern paper. All right, and then I have this. This is also some ephemera. These were just greeting strips that came in a pack, and I actually used scraps to. I have like 2 or 3 glued on the back just to build up some dimension. So that's another way you can use up your scraps. And then this is just, like I said earlier, just a gold ephemera. It's just like a transparent piece of ephemera. So I have a bunch of these in my stash. I don't know where I got them, to tell you the truth, but I've had them for a long time, and it's high time I use them. Gotta start using this stuff. All right, then we're gonna glue this down. This is gonna be a Thinking of You card. I think I'll just put that right center. Let me get my card straight so I can see what I'm doing. Just get that right down there. And if you have a hard time eyeballing, these little T-square rulers are nice. I got this from Simon Says Stamp, but you can get them at the craft store or just anywhere. They're very inexpensive. This was just a few dollars. But you can just lay it on the side of your panel and just, you know, make sure it just goes straight across. And it just lines up everything nice and easy. Okay, I didn't glue this all the way down on the edges because I do like that it's kind of free floating on the ends. I like that. All right, and then all we have to do is glue this down. Super easy. Oh, make sure the cards go on the right way. And there you go. All right. So there you have 2 super quick and super easy cards. I will take some photos and put them at the end of this video. So there you go. These cards are just, I think they're lovely, and they're just made with scraps. So bust out your scraps, make a couple cards. Let me know if you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. I put a video up every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I do put up a random Saturday live, and I will advertise those on my YouTube channel when I decide to do those, when it works out for my schedule. So thanks again for joining. I hope you have a great day. Until we meet again, make it a great week.